I am Moses, and I need to tell you something that will either wake you up or destroy you. You're living a lie. Right now, this very moment, you're believing the most dangerous deception that's ever been whispered into human hearts. I have time. You think you have time to fix your marriage later, time to start living for God when you're older, time to heal that broken relationship, time to answer your calling after you're more prepared, time to tell the people you love that you love them, time to stop wasting your life on things that don't matter. Let me save you 80 years of regret in one sentence. That time doesn't exist. I spent 40 years as a prince thinking I had all the time in the world. Then 40 years as a refugee thinking my time was over. Then God called me at 80 years old, and I finally understood. It was never about having time. It was about using the time you have left. You're closer to death than you think. Your parents won't be here forever. Your children are growing up while you're scrolling. Your calling is expiring while you're waiting for perfect conditions. And every day you delay is a day you'll never get back. So here's my question. What are you waiting for? If you're tired of wasting your life, if you're ready to learn from those who walked with God, then subscribe to this channel right now. We're going deeper into the lives of biblical heroes, their failures, their victories, their hard-won wisdom, so you can grow spiritually without wasting decades like I did. Hit that subscribe button. This might be the most important decision you make today. Let me tell you what I learned too late so you don't have to. When God called me at the burning bush, I was 80 years old. 80! In your world, people retire at 65 and think life is over. I was 15 years past retirement when God said, "Now you're ready." You know why? Because I finally learned what the palace couldn't teach me. I was nothing without Him. At 40, I was confident, educated, powerful. I tried to deliver my people through my own strength and ended up a murderer and a fugitive. At 80, I was broken, humble, empty. I had nothing to offer but obedience. And that's exactly when God said, "Perfect, now I can use you." Here's what this means for you. Stop waiting to feel qualified. God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Your weakness is not a disqualification, it's your greatest qualification because it forces you to depend on Him. Right now you're thinking, "I'm not ready. I don't have enough education, enough money, enough experience, enough faith." Good. That's exactly where God wants you, because when you finally succeed, there will be no doubt who did it. Today, stop waiting for perfect conditions. Take one small step of obedience in your calling, even if you feel completely unqualified. Send that email, make that phone call, start that project. Your inadequacy is not the problem. Your delay is. Those 40 years I wasted in the desert, they weren't wasted. God was training me to lead stubborn, wandering people who didn't know what was good for them. Leading 2 million complaining Israelites was exactly like herding sheep. Every frustrating moment with those animals was preparation for my calling. The murder I committed, it taught me what happens when you try to accomplish God's purposes with human methods. At 40, I tried to save my people with violence. At 80, I did it with a staff and God's presence. Same goal, completely different method. Your failures, your trauma, your wasted years, God isn't done with them. He's recycling them into your curriculum. That addiction you survived, it makes you qualified to help others. That broken family, it gives you compassion for the hurting. That job you lost, it pushed you toward your real calling. But here's the key. You have to stop running from your past and let God redeem it. As long as you're hiding from what happened, God can't use it. When you surrender it to Him, it becomes your greatest weapon. Write down your 3 biggest failures or painful experiences. Then ask God, how can you use this? Who needs to hear my story? Your mess becomes your message when you give it to God. At 40, my own people rejected me. Who made you a ruler over us? At 80, I came back with God's authority, and they still complained. No water, no food, Egypt was better.
They wanted to stone me multiple times. My own sister spoke against me. My brother made a golden calf while I was on the mountain receiving the 10 Commandments. The very people I gave my life for caused me the most pain. And here's what I learned. It's not about them appreciating you. It's about you obeying God. If you're waiting for people to understand your sacrifice, validate your calling, appreciate your efforts, you will quit. People are fickle. They forget. They're scared. But God never forgets. God sees every moment. God records every sacrifice. You serve God, not people. People are who you serve through, not who you serve for. Get that backwards and you'll burn out in a year. Stop seeking validation from people. Start seeking approval from God alone. When criticism comes, and it will, ask yourself, did God call me to this? Am I obeying Him? If yes, keep moving. Their opinion doesn't matter. Pharaoh was the most powerful man in the world. He raised me. He wanted me dead. 9 times I went to him with God's message. 9 times he hardened his heart. And God taught me, you don't have to defeat your Pharaoh. God will. Your job is to show up and obey. I didn't bring the plagues. I didn't part the Red Sea. I lifted my staff in obedience and watched God work. That's all God asks. Show up, speak up, obey, and watch Him move. Your Pharaoh might be a toxic boss, an abusive family member, a financial crisis, an addiction, a fear. It feels impossible. That's because it is impossible for you, but not for God. Stop trying to figure out how to defeat your giant. Just obey God's instructions. He'll handle the rest. Identify your Pharaoh, the impossible obstacle between you and your calling. Then ask God, what's my next step of obedience? It won't be defeat the giant. It will be something small. Have that conversation. Set that boundary. Take that risk. Do it. Watch God move. After the Red Sea miracle, we entered the wilderness. Brutal, hot, barren. No food, no water, people complaining daily. I cried out to God constantly. But here's what the wilderness taught me. Total dependence on God. Every morning, manna appeared, just enough for that day. You couldn't hoard it. You had to trust God for tomorrow's provision, tomorrow. The people hated it. They wanted security, stockpiles, guarantees. God wanted trust. You might be in your wilderness right now. Nothing's growing. You're exhausted. You're wondering if God forgot you. He didn't. The wilderness isn't punishment. It's training. It's where you learn to hear God's voice above the noise. It's where you discover that He is enough when nothing else is there. Don't rush out of the wilderness. Let it strip away your self-sufficiency. Let it teach you to say every morning, God, I need you today. I can't do this without you. If you're in a hard season, stop asking, when will this end? Start asking, what are you teaching me? Keep a journal of God's daily provision. You'll be shocked how faithful He is. 2 million people. I couldn't handle it. I was burning out. My father-in-law said, Moses, delegate or die. So I appointed leaders over thousands, hundreds, 50s, and 10s. Here's the lesson.
God gives you more than you can handle, so you'll learn to multiply your impact. If you can do everything alone, you'll never develop other leaders. You'll stay small. God's vision for your life is too big for you. That's intentional. Stop being the hero of every story. Raise up other heroes. Equip them. Empower them. Release them. What are you holding on to that you should delegate? Who around you is ready to be equipped and released? Your legacy isn't what you do, it's who you develop. At Meribah, the people complained about water. God told me to speak to the rock, but I was angry, exhausted, so I struck it. Twice, in anger. Water came out. The people got what they needed. But God said, Moses, you will not enter the promised land. I pleaded. I begged. He said no. After 40 years of leadership, this was my consequence.
Here's what I learned. Sin always costs, even when God forgives. God didn't reject me. He still used me, but the consequence remained. Why? Because I misrepresented his character. I made him look harsh when he was being gracious. Whatever consequence you're living with from past sin, don't think God is done with you. He's not. But don't take sin lightly either. It costs. Sometimes the cost is walking away from something you deeply wanted. If you're carrying guilt, confess it and receive forgiveness, but also accept the consequences without bitterness. God's discipline is proof of love, not rejection. Let it teach you. 3 times I went up Mount Sinai. I received the law. I stayed 40 days without food or water, just in God's presence. My face glowed when I came down. God showed me his glory and proclaimed, "The Lord compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love." Those mountain moments changed me. Not the miracles in the valley, not the battles, the intimate time alone with God. That's where transformation happened. Here's what you must understand. You cannot sustain valley ministry without mountain intimacy. If you're trying to serve God without spending consistent time alone with him, you'll burn out. You'll become harsh. You'll lose your first love. Schedule your mountain time. Protect it fiercely. 20 minutes every morning. No phone, just you and God. Read his word. Listen. Write what he says. Your power flows from those hidden hours that nobody sees. At 120, I stood on Mount Nebo. God showed me the entire promised land, everything he promised. I could see it, but I couldn't enter it. God said, "You've seen it, but you won't cross over." Was I disappointed? Yes. Did I wrestle? Absolutely. But I came to understand God's promises are always fulfilled, but not always in your lifetime. Abraham never saw the full promise. Neither did Isaac. Neither did Jacob. They died in faith, seeing it from a distance. Sometimes your calling is to plant trees whose shade you'll never sit under. Sometimes you're laying a foundation someone else will build on. Sometimes you're fighting battles so the next generation can walk in victory. And that's okay, because it's not about you getting credit. It's about God's purposes being fulfilled. Stop demanding immediate results. Ask yourself, am I being faithful to what God called me to do today? The results belong to God. The obedience belongs to you. I split the Red Sea. I brought water from rocks. I called down plagues. I led 2 million people for 40 years. But you know what I want to be remembered for? The Bible says, I was the humblest man on earth, that God spoke to me face to face as a man speaks with his friend. That's my legacy. The friendship, the intimacy, the humility to know that without God, I was just a stuttering shepherd who murdered a man and ran away. Your accomplishments will fade. Your miracles will be forgotten. Buildings will crumble. Ministries will end. But your relationship with God, that's eternal. That's what transfers to the next life. So stop chasing platform, recognition, success. Chase Him. Know Him. Love Him. Walk with Him. Everything else will fall into place. Maybe not how you planned, but how He planned. And His plan is always better. Listen to me. I'm 120 years old, standing at the edge of eternity. If I could shout one thing across time, it's this: don't wait. Don't wait for perfect circumstances. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait until you're older. richer, more qualified. Start now with what you have, where you are, imperfectly, scared, but obedient. Because here's the truth. God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your availability. He doesn't need your credentials. He needs your yes. He doesn't need you to have it figured out. He just needs you to take the first step, and He'll meet you there. Time is shorter than you think. The people you love won't be here forever. The opportunities won't wait. The calling on your life is time-sensitive. Every day you delay is a day you can't get back. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go to the comments below and write one of these 3 things. Share your prayer request. What impossible situation are you facing? What giant stands between you and your calling? What wilderness are you walking through? Write it out. I'm praying for you. This entire community is praying for you. You don't have to carry it alone. Let us stand with you in faith. Your breakthrough might be one prayer away. Share what hit you in this message. What truth shook you? What lie did God expose? What decision are you making right now? Your testimony might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take their own step. Don't keep it inside. Speak it out. Declaring it activates faith. Make a public commitment. What's one thing you're changing in the next 24 hours? Who are you calling? What are you starting? What conversation are you having? What are you letting go of? Write it down. Public declaration creates accountability, and accountability creates transformation. This community is here to support you, pray for you, encourage you, and hold you accountable. We're in this together. Don't do it alone. And if this message stirred something in your spirit, if you felt that pull that says, "This is what I needed to hear today," then like this video, share it with someone who's wasting their life, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. We're going deeper into the lives of biblical heroes, their failures, their victories, their hard-won wisdom, so you can grow spiritually without wasting decades. Your time is now, not someday, now, while you still have breath, while you still have opportunity, while God is still calling. I am Moses. I answered God's call at 80, but I wish I had answered at 40. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait another day. The burning bush is in front of you. Will you turn aside? Will you take off your shoes? Will you say, "Here am I, send me"? The choice is yours, but the time is now. Shalom.